Good afternoon, folks. This is a little bit different than obviously normal. I hope every video is a little bit different, but we're busting salt today. Larry does stuff. It's a lot of big chunks, and I'll explain to you why here in a minute. But if you've watched my other videos, you've seen the HDPE hopper totes that I store this in. Lift it up with the pallet forks and load it into the old truck there. But this whole area down here with the shop, you'll see a super sack sitting over there, some other pallets of salt sitting down there. This whole area got a mudslide. In effect, had actually quite a bit of mud in the shop, probably about that deep or so. I had to get in with a tilt bucket over there beside the excavator, scrape mud out. But the water level got to, I think I'll probably find a picture of some of the stuff from before, but it got up to about right here in the water level. But what that did was coagulated and froze up some of the salt in the bottom of those. Bags of salt took on water, got kind of chunky. Some of them gotten kind of gelatinous. I'll say kind of you can have a wet feel to them. So I'm air drying some. I'm doing a kind of a more constant mix to turn this over to keep it from clumping. But I've still got a mess. I think there was about 2 foot of dirt here. I can't even point here with it, of mud up on the shop. So I actually had to dig out this whole area to be able to even get the shop doors open. But here's some more salt on pallets. That is, look, I can point into my shadow. That's kind of cool. Those have water. I'll be going through them. Now, if it actually sets up hard with the salt, you can see some that has oozed out. I see the green coating. I got to get this stuff out of my dump trailer. I don't like this on the steel, but I just don't have a choice right now to be able to move it in here. I'm also working some more busting up operation there in the back, sorting through what's good, getting chunks, busting it up. But I've also got about 10,000 pounds on the way from Bare Ground, which I love dealing with. Super company, been good with pricing and being able to get the bulk stuff. That's where I get the super sacks from over there. But I've got 5 2,000 pound ones coming. So I'm trying to get this area cleaned up and get ready for that. I hope I have more than enough by the end of the season. But here's what I'm doing basically is I'll get a bag. If you notice, I've got one of my wife's aprons on. Let's see if we can see what that, with the boss or something. Hey, I asked permission for this one. She picked this one out for me to bring because I'm getting muddy on these bags and just really dirty, and I'm trying to keep some of my work clothes decently clean. But I'll take a bag, and you see how I kind of gut it like a fish down the side instead of the bottom. It just pours out faster. Got this old basket, I'd say from a freezer. I'll lay it on the side up here, and I have a pair of scissors. Do not use your wife's good pair of scissors. She actually does hair for a living, so that would be a true violation of things. But get you some cheap old scissors. I keep this open, and then that's what I gut that fish with on the bag. Dump it into this basket here, and then shake it out. All the loose granules are coming out, and some stuff, but a lot of this stuff will just bust back up. I can kind of tell which ones will. That might need a little bit of nope, it's gone. See, it's just getting busted up. I don't want anything, this would probably go through too, but I'm going to bust that up. I don't want anything that's going to clog up the hopper, getting down through the grates and stuff in it. But then I have a little piece of steel channel. I'll filter out any of these kind of big chunks, and then we're just putting them over here. This is really just to keep the stuff from bouncing around as much, and then we're just pounding it. Sometimes it's a little bit satisfying, but then not, because I'm having to do this. But I got to use this product. I paid for it, and we got to use it up. We've got another storm coming up. The last storm I used about 6,000 pounds. So 2 of these hopper totes full, plus a pallet that I kept in reserve. I keep about 3 pallets of bag stuff in reserve, because what if the tractor doesn't start? There's always there's a primary plan, secondary plan, and a tertiary plan, which is the bags. So I can just go to loading like I did before. But that's about it. I don't have a lot more to say. I got to get ready for this next storm. I took a day off of vacation from the fire station Just got to get work done. What else is there to say? Yeah, even every couple of days right now, since some of this feels a little bit moister than normally I would have in here, probably every couple of days I'm going to go in here with the auger drill, which is somewhere. Let's get that baby. If you haven't seen the other videos of mixing and flow geeky talk that I got into, I just stick it in there, just mix it. If there's a more moist area, let it kind of average out a little bit. And you can see I've actually got a little bit of this is some old stock of Frosty's Nightmare. There's actually a few of the muddy bags you can see. Some of this still isn't dried out from the flood really. But this material you'll see is the bare ground, and the blue is the Frosty's Nightmare. And actually another one that's over there that I had in stock before, but I'm trying to use this other stuff up and do nothing but bare ground. But that's about it. If you get these things, well, it's still worth money. If it gets into a hard rock of salt, just bust it up. It'll turn back into the same crystallized stuff. So there's a process. I started to rig up my one of my hydraulic tools that we used to use for rescue, one of the old Rams, and build me a box, and then just put these in there and use it almost like a log splitter, but just a flat plate that's just going to crush stuff and move it and do it instead of all this pounding. But I don't have time for that project right now. But a lot of people are dealing with a lot more stuff in this flood and mudslides and everything than I am. But man, there's just so many things that have secondary and third and fourth effects from flooding and mudslides and all that. That's now even affecting my salting operation. So we're moving on. Anyway, y'all take care of yourself. I hope you're having a blessed 2025, and hopefully we'll have some cooler videos this year. All right, see y'all. Bye-bye.